today's video, I would like to introduce a very nice problem of Russian Mathematical Olympiad edition 1983. Our goal, we are going to solve the following equation. We have x squared equals y squared plus 2 times y plus 13. So we are going to solve this equation in integer numbers. So here is 2 options to solve this equation. You can solve this equation simply by factoring out these terms and make the whole expression on the form of the product, or you can go through the parity. But I prefer the parity because the parity is going to help us a lot to reduce the number of cases. If you would like to give the hints to this problem before getting to the solution, just go ahead, pause this video when you come back to see the full solution. Now let's get started. Without loss of generality, we have x, y is a solution. We have minus x, y is a solution. Also, x and minus y is a solution. And minus x and minus y is a solution, okay? Because you are going to consider the negative solutions as well. So before I start solving this equation, I'm going to determine the parity of this system, okay? So as you know, I'm simply going to move over this y squared to the left hand side of the equation to see what's given us. This one is written on the form of the difference of two squares, so I'm going to factor out this one. So we have x minus y factor x plus y equals 2 times y plus number 13, okay? So if you take a look at this term is odd, okay? Now, since the right hand side of this equation is odd, that means this product is odd as well. So in the other word, this is odd, this is odd as well, okay? Since both terms are odd, that means x and y have the different parity, okay? So that means the other word, x minus y equals 2m plus 1, and x plus y equals 2n plus 1, okay? Because this one is a odd, this one is a odd. I can rewrite it on this form, okay? So the next thing now, I'm going to solve for x and y. I'm simply going to sum these two equations. By doing that, y will be cancelled out. I will be left with 2x equals 2m plus 2n plus number 2, okay? Then I'm going to divide both sides by number 2. So I will get x equals m plus n plus number 1. So I'm going to keep this one for later. Now on the other side, I'm going to solve for y, okay? So I'm simply going to subtract equation number 1 from equation number 2. I will have the expression of 2y, x will be cancelled out. I will have 2n minus 2m, number 1 will be cancelled out. So I'm simply going to divide both sides by number 2. I will have y equals n minus m, like this. Now I'm going to take these two found facts and insert them into the original equation to see what's the expression. So we will have m plus n plus number 1 by plugging x with this value, quantity square equals n minus m quantity square plus number 2 is multiplied by n minus m plus number 13, okay? Now I'm going to factor out this expression. I will have m plus n quantity square plus 2 times is multiplied by n plus m plus number 1. So for the right hand side, I will have n squared minus 2 times n is multiplied by m plus m squared plus 2 is multiplied by n plus minus 2m plus number 13, okay? Then I'm going to distribute this one. I will have m squared plus 2 times nm plus n squared plus 2 times n plus 2 times m plus number 1. For the right hand side, I will have n squared minus 2nm plus m squared plus 2n minus 2m plus number 13. Now we will have a lot of cancellation here. So for n square will be cancelled out, m square will be cancelled out, 2n it will be cancelled out. By moving over minus 2nm to the left hand side of this equation, I will get 4 times is multiplied by nm plus 2m. Also I will have this minus 2m with this 2m, I will get plus 4m. This 13, by moving over this now number 1 to the right, I will get 13 minus 1, which is 12. Okay, then I'm going to divide both sides by number 4. I will get n is multiplied by m plus m equals 3. Then I'm going to take m as a common factor. I will have m factor n plus number 1 equals 30. So I have ended with this expression. So what this one telling us? It's telling us m is odd and n plus 1 is odd, because odd is multiplied by odd is always giving us odd. N plus 1 is odd, and also m is odd. Now I'm going to check x. We have this term m is odd, n plus 1 is odd. That means odd plus odd is given as even. That means x is a even. Since we have n plus 1 is a odd, that means n is a even. N is a even, m is a odd. That means even minus odd is given as odd. So that means y is odd. Now we have determined the parity. X, we know x is even and y is odd. Now I'm going to clean up this board and continue solving our equation. Now I'm ready to solve this equation. So I have this expression. I can rewrite this one as y squared plus 2 times y plus number 1 plus number 1 plus number 12. Okay, now I can rewrite this term as y plus 1 20 square. Okay, then the next thing, I'm going to move over this term to the left hand side of this equation. I will have the expression of, now this one becomes as a form of the difference of the squares. Now we are able to factor out this one on the form of the product. Okay, so we'll have x minus y minus 1 factor x plus y plus number 1 equals 12. Now the parity is interfering here to help us. Okay, so without parity we will have 12 cases, because here is 12, we don't know the parity of this one, and also both terms we don't know which one is smaller, which one is bigger, because involving the negative numbers. Okay, so that's mean without using parity we will have 12 cases, because we will have here 12 is multiplied by 1, 1 is multiplied by 12. I will have 3 is multiplied by 4 and 4 is multiplied by 3. I will have 2 is multiplied by 6 and 6 is multiplied by 2. Also I will have minus 2 is multiplied by minus 6. Also minus 6 multiplied by minus 2, and so on and so forth. You will have 12 cases. But by using the parity, this one it will be transferred into maybe 2 cases. Okay, now let's check the parity of this one. I'm going to check the parity of both terms. Okay, since we know y is a odd, that means y minus 1 is a even. That means x and also x is a even. That means this difference is a even. That means this term is a even. This is even. And also here we have y is a odd. That means y plus 1 is a even. We know x is a even. That means this one is a even. Now since we know this product is a even, this term is a even, this term is a even, that means right hand side of this equation will be transferred into the even product, which means 12 we can rewrite as 6 is multiplied by 2, or 2 is multiplied by 6, because in fact there is another 2 cases involving negative numbers. That means I can put this one minus 2 is multiplied by minus 6, or minus 6 is multiplied by minus 2, but we are going to ignore that. We are going to check only 2 is enough to find the solutions. Okay, now let's go through this one. Let's go through the first case. I'm going to write this one as a first equation system, x minus y minus 1 equals number 2, and the second equation it will be x plus y plus number 1 equals number 6. This is the first equation system. For the second equation system, I will have x minus y minus number 1 equals 6. The second one, which is x plus y plus number 1 equal to number 2. Okay? Now I'm going to solve this one and the other one. So by solving this one, I'm simply going to add the first equation on the second equation to cancel y and number 1. So we'll be left with 2x equals 6 plus 2, which is 8. Okay? So in Italian as 2x equals 8. In the other word, by dividing both sides by number 2, I will have x equals 4. Okay? I'm going to leave this one as is. I'm going to move over to the next one. So I'm going to do the same thing by adding first one and the second one. I will be ended with 2x equals 8. In the other word, x equals 4. So I found x equals 4 and x equals 4. But both equations have the different y. Okay? So let's check this one. By plugging simply this one into this one, so we'll have number 4 minus y minus number 1 equals 2. By solving for y, moving y to the right, I will get 4 minus 1, which is 3. 3 minus 2, which is 1. I will get y equals 1. Okay? Here is the value of y. For this one, by plugging number 4 into first or second equation, so we'll have number 4 minus y minus 1 equals 6. Equivalent. This one is given as y. By moving over y to the right, I will get 4 minus 1, which is 3. 3 minus 6, which is minus 3. That's mean y equals minus 3. Okay? So we'll have the first solution, x equals 4. Equivalent, y equals 1. For the second solution, the same x, which is 4, x equals 4, but is given as y equals minus 3. This one came from the second equation, this one came from the first equation. Okay? Then if you take a look carefully, we found x equals 4, but also x minus 4 is a solution because we have x squared here. If you plug in 4 here, quantity square is given as 16. If you plug in minus 4, quantity square is given as 16. So that means the two different values is given as the same result. We'll have minus 4 square equals y square plus 2 times y plus number 13. By moving over the terms to the right, I will get the expression of y square plus 2 times, I will get 13 minus 16, which is minus 3. Minus 3 equals 0. Okay? Now we have ended with the new expression in terms of y. So I'm simply going to solve this one by calculating the discriminant of this one, which is delta. So I will have delta of this one, which is 4 minus 4 times, which is minus 3. Minus 3 is multiplied by 1. If you calculate this one, is given as 16. Okay? So I will have two following solutions. I will have y 1, which is minus 2, plus square root of delta, which is 4, is divided by 2. This one, if you calculate this one, 4 minus 2, which is 2, over 2, which is 1. The second solution, I will have minus 2 minus 4 is divided by 2. Is given as minus 2 minus 4, which is minus 6, divided by 2, which is minus 3. Now we will have two new solutions. I will have x equals minus 4, equivalent to y equals 1. The second solution will have x equals minus 4, equivalent to y equals minus 3. Now here is the four solutions that I found for this equation. So I have done with this problem. If you are interested in watching this one, don't forget to support us with a like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I will see you next video. Bye.